Hi, I'm Mike Thompson. We've got this refrigerator in the garage here, which is actually about to be a full-fledged kegerator. It's got some kegs in there. It's not super elegant. We don't have taps in the door or anything. But what we do have, as you see, is a door that opens the wrong way. And we've got room for 6 kegs in here. And what we're going to do over these next couple projects is turn this basic refrigerator into a full-fledged kegerator with tap handles in the door and all sorts of fun stuff. But right now, the first thing we're going to do is flip this door around so that it opens the other direction, because we don't want to have to squeeze by the cars and things if we need to get in here. We want it to open from the direction we're most likely to come from, which is over there. I'm never coming through the backyard door, really, ever. So we're going to do that. We're going to flip this door around. But while we're working on this, we don't want our kegs to get too warm in there, do we, at all? So what we're going to do is we're going to take these blankets out of the freezer, and we're going to wrap the kegs in these. They're cold, aren't they? You take this one here, take the towel. Up here in the freezer, we've just got standard frozen things. I'll eventually put frosty mugs, but I've got just food and a frozen water bottle to add some thermal mass in case we need it. Hey, no, you don't use that. You're going to warm it up. We need to keep these blankets cold. So let's go ahead and wrap these kegs in these blankets so that we can do some work on it. Oh, these are nice and cold. First thing, of course, is we have to take off what's here and flip things around. And we've got to be extra quick. So Alex, it looks like we're going to need a Phillips or square screwdriver. I'd rather use a square drive because it won't strip out. We're going to need that for that side to switch the handle over. And then over here, we're going to need, looks like the same thing. The hinge is held on by the same. And on top here, we have one. We'll need a nut driver on top. Okay. Yeah, just take both of those out there. Good job. Okay. And then this rotates off like so off to the side and then just pops loose. See, there's a little keyway in there, and there it goes. It just shuts like so. Okay. Nice. So now take this screw and move it to the other side. There, you got it. All right. Oh, hold it still. There you go. And then this rotates out of the way like so. It slides and pops loose. And there goes the freezer handle. Over to the other side. This hinge needs to go from there to there. So I'm gonna pop these little things. Oh, these are old and brittle. Boy, they don't really want to come out. Oh well, it's the top of the fridge. Nobody's ever gonna see this anyway, so it doesn't matter if I have holes exposed on the other side. And then dig this one out. The hinge pin goes in this front one here for the freezer door. These remnants need to get, there it goes. Clean those out like so, and then get this other cover off. Get this hinge off here, start it with this wrench, and finish it with the nut driver. And, oh, that's fairly long. There we go. Okay, and this just pops off. Well, it should. It's kind of stuck. There it goes. And so now if I go to open the freezer door, see, it's totally loose. And it's going to pop off like that. Better get moving. So this bracket here on the bottom needs to be switched to the other side. It's basically all this is moving stuff from one side to the other. It's really not that complicated. But I need to keep this on, and so time to get going. So now I'm taking these screws over here out because the hinge is going to have to go on this side here in just a second. When I move the hinge over, I'll simply flip it upside down and it'll be just as it was over there. You know what I could do is put a towel over the front. Let me go do that. Let me get a towel. I'll drape a towel over the front. There. So now I've got these screws out. I'm probably gonna have to pop this loose, but for right now, I'm gonna remove this hinge on that side. Okay, and then there's one screw in here that I need to get. So I'll stick my square drive in there and unscrew this last screw to get the top door hinge off. There. And this pops off there. And then I need to pull the hinge pin out as well. I'm gonna flip this over and stick it on the other side. Pull this hinge pin out and put it on the other side of the door. Cool. And so now on this side, I'm simply going to do what I did over there. I've got to get this little cap off of here, because this is where the hinge pin drops into, like so. Go ahead and drop my hinge pin in. Actually, I need to take the bottom bracket off first. I'll go ahead and put this in, and then I'll get it here in a second. Up and off, just like so. And so now I've got to move this bracket over to there. 3/8 socket. Now I'll put these back in, of course, once I get the door back on, because time is of the essence. Okay, I've got this bracket off. I'll loosen these two and put the bracket back on over here. But I have to flip this pin to the other hole in the top of this bracket. Oh, it's hot and humid out here today. Even working in the refrigerator is no help. So I'm going to try to put the door back in place temporarily to hold some of the cold in while I get this pin flipped. So I'm using this wrench here on this lower bracket on the hinge pin for the lower door, like that, and move it over to this hole, and then I'll tighten it back down. Like I said, from one side to the other. And then use my 3/8 socket here and tighten this bracket down, like so. And then now, this bracket here on the bottom of the door is upside down at the moment. I need to move it over to this side. Forgot to do that. I need to clean this. And set that down on that pin down there, like so. Okay. Oh, it's hot. And I can put this hinge bracket back. Let me get, here you go. So you can see what's going on here. Just screwing it in like so. 2 screws is all that holds this in. And I'll snap that there. There we go. All right, door's back in place. Excellent. Now the freezer door slides over the top part of this hinge pin. It had a little bit of water in it, so I had to let it drain there for a second. Okay. And then this top hinge plate. I'm just going to tighten it loosely here for a second, and I'll align it all and tighten it down here in a minute. I'll leave the door kind of loose. I want to make sure that it's all straight, so it's going to be loose for a bit. And now all I got to do is put the handles back on. Also, I'll do the freezer one first. It's got this little keyhole that simply goes in like this, locks down. Oh, I didn't switch this over. I gotta switch this little bracket here. And then this bottom handle basically does the same thing. Slides on like that, rotates and locks into place. Oh, got 2 little screw covers here. We'll remove those. Okay. And I'll put the little trim piece back on. And there you have it. That's how you swap the direction of a refrigerator door. But I recommend you don't do this when the humidity is 90% and it's 100 degrees outside. I think I'm gonna hop in here for a bit and cool off. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Mike Thompson, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.